Viewers, today I've got a very special guest that we have in the studio, and we're going to be discussing some various topics which really affect your well-being as an individual, as couples, as families, and we're going to be getting answers to some of the questions that we've heard for so many years, and I believe this is a guest that you'd want to sit down and listen to so that you can get some wisdom as you face your day-to-day life. In the studio, I'm joined by Favour Rukombo. Favour Rukombo is an entrepreneur, he's a writer, he's a minister, and he's also a counselor. You can see that he's a man of many talents, and we have him in the studio today. Good morning, Favour.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Let me get straight into my question with you, Favour. You are the firstborn in your family of 6. How did that shape your perspective of parenting and child development?
First and foremost, I studied psychology,
Okay.
to which I discovered some of the things that happen in different families. There is a theory in psychology developed by Alfred Adler, where he discussed more about birth order. That he said, birth order affect people's personalities and behaviors in life. For instance, firstborn children have their own set of characteristics that are distinct to the middle child, the only child, and the last child in the family. So me holding the firstborn position in my family, I believe that it has shaped a personality and a behavior of parenting as I take from my parents. Because firstborn, according to Alfred Adler, they are deputy parents in a family, which means they are also holding the responsibility on taking care of their siblings.
Okay.
So my parents used to tell me, I have left you here with all the siblings. Look after them, cook them for them, shower them, do everything for them in their absence. This simply means, therefore, all these things involve even instilling discipline in my siblings.
Okay.
So there is leadership in that position. There is independence, I mean, in that position. So I think these are some of the characteristics that I've actually grown as a firstborn child, and I hold those characteristics future as a firstborn.
Well, you have used the term deputy parenting, which we've heard a lot of times, as we walk in the streets. Now, can you explain what that means to you in your own experience?
Deputy parenting involves things like taking the responsibility like that of the primary parents.
Okay.
Primary parents mean the mother and the father. To educate a firstborn is to educate all the siblings. I think we have heard of the adage, to educate a man is to educate an individual, but to educate a woman is to educate the whole nation.
Yeah.
So here we have a nation as a family. To say that I am from a family of 6 children. That is our nation, our small nation in our family. So me being taught or trained by my parents simply mean to teach even my siblings, because I am going to impart the knowledge and skills that my father and mother told me. If they behave this way, this is how we can basically deal with them in order to make sure that they align their behavior in an expected way. So deputy parent means taking all the responsibility that primary parents can also do. Okay. That's what it means.
Okay. Now, at what point did you realize that your upbringing could become, a powerful foundation for helping other families?
I think it was around Form 3 when my parents could confidently depend on me to say that we are going for a conference, 3 days in the forest, in the wilderness, doing some prayers there, and I'm left at home with my siblings. They can rest assured we have left Favour at home, everything will be okay. That's when I realized I have the capability to lead, to guide, and to take that role as a deputy parent.
Okay. No, you've studied psychology and focused particularly on Alfred Adler's birth order theory. What are some of the key insights from the theory that parents should know?
I think that some of the problems that parents encounter in the process of upbringing their children may actually be overlooked. But I feel 100% sure that parents should be taught of all these things. Psychology cannot be taught everywhere. From my studies and researches, I've discovered that a very minor percentage of people have studied psychology, to which we can see where they can find information on how to parent their children is in churches.
Okay.
And of course, there are scenarios where families have been taught, like the family of Jacob with his children, how the parents could actually discern. The mother loved Esau, Jacob, and the father loved Esau. All these things were actually not looked at, but they are very, very important. And I think that favoritism that the parents showed can be influencing a behavior that will affect the children in their adult stages.
Okay. Okay. Now, how does a child's position in the family, firstborn, middle, last or only child, affect their personality and behavior based on what you have seen? I am an only child, so how would that affect my personality?
Starting with firstborn, firstborn, they are likely to be independent, they are likely to be leaders, they are likely to be passionate, they are likely to possess a very high level of resilience. And middle child, these are maybe the second-born. They usually become peace-loving people, and sometimes they are attention seekers and rushing on to the only child in family, because most of their time they spend with the old people. So they are likely to mature very early. And these people are very, very good at decision making because of their environment they spend much of their time in. I think in summary, that's what, it can actually affect their personalities.
Interesting. Now, do you believe birth order differences are often misunderstood or overlooked by parents?
Very true, I believe that.
Okay.
They are misunderstood. How a parent or treat their first child is different from how they parent their second, and probably maybe their last. You have seen it several times that the last born is not like someone who is the center of the family. The mother and the father always wants to spare them. If they misbehave, maybe try to align their behavior, maybe by taking a whip and try to lash their buttocks. So no, don't touch my child. This is my last tent. This, But they don't do the same to the firstborn. They always make sure they consistently beat them in order to instill a behavior that is emulatable as they grow. So basically, I think that the way parents treat the firstborn should also go even to the lastborn. Unfortunately, because of age, maybe they will not be able to do like that, because it will be in their formative ages and times of being in the marriage. Maybe you can actually get married at 21 or 22, and you are still energetic to run and fetch a stick and lash the buttocks and try to align their behavior. But when you get your last born, it will be actually around your 50s. You'll be not able to run and maybe run after your children. That would be actually the problem.
Well, thank you very much, Favour, for coming through and laying out all these theories. I think they're quite interesting, and I believe our viewers would really want to know more, in regards to issues to do with personality, and how those things really affect the family setup. So thank you very much for coming through. And next week, I'm pretty sure we'll then dwell much more on the books that you've written, so that we can get a deep understanding of your thoughts on these issues. So thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you so much. God
Well,
bless.
there you have it, viewers. Do stand by. We'll be back shortly.